science fandom, the universe, the wiki, and everything. I claim that I am Paladine, which means one of you out there is Takesis. Oh, there's Takesis. Hi, Takesis. How you doing? I left you food. I'm a big fan of the Dragonlance Chronicles, Fizban, Nazfib. One of my favorite ones among the morons is Nate Mendez. Each people has a champion, and it's hard to be a moron when you're a god. But watch me try. I said all them years ago. When Margaret Weiss started with Raceland Majere, it catches the attention of deity. Takesis, do you plan to eat all the muffins? Save some for later. Takesis, sometimes she gets really hungry, like she's on her period. I think that's Sargonis. Hey, Sargonis, see how bold she is? Takesis or Tiamat. Maybe I have to be like Bahamut. It doesn't matter, you know. So, you ascend as a demigod wherever. Because a lot of pagan stuff, you have to overwhelm a pagan. They're in the pay gang, meaning you do it all for pay, and then gang stalking and stuff. But I mentally thought, okay, we all know about gang stalking, but how about gangs talking it over? And of course, there's going to be a resistance. Like Tiamat. Tiamat. There's more inside. Tiamat's going to fight all the cars now. Watch. All of you versus all of me. I'm a pigeon. Imagine losing to a pigeon and you have a car. You know? So earlier, the Department of Sanitation, New York, DSNY, and they suffered a lawsuit by DKNY, Donna Karan, New York. I met with them over Zoom. I hate Zoom, but I had to do it, because I have to follow all the rules of the landlord. No dumping, no going to the roof and throwing yourself over, and keep all the doors locked, and help pay the national debt of America. It's a very confusing thing. Good morning, Zoomers. I heard all of you Free Palestine people are protesting prisons. Good job. It's spreading all over the world. And I went to the Within Our Lifetime thing, and you expect people to shell out and buy your kits. It's free, but then you get propaganda. At the end, you're gonna pay us a trillion Bitcoin, right? And that's when people say no. So many people wear the keffiyeh out of fear, and I'm like, am I wearing a keffiyeh right now? Hello, Morgan. I know what all you Zoomers want on Twitch. Can you shout me out? Say my full name and my message. Sure. Your message is sure. You can always scroll away, and I command you all to scroll away, being my evil knights of Paladine. You probably don't know who Paladine is. Or you probably don't even know Warriors of Shaolin, Temple of Doom, right? Morgan? All I get are boys who are looking to make their mark in history. And you feel that, giving orders to a random face on the screen makes you powerful. You're correct. Try all that with your father. Get in his face and yell at him. He'll be reminded of when he yelled at his father, and he'll be like, well, I gotta do my father proud and be a grump. Right? Thank you for the like. Just remember, June 15th, Juneteenth, or whatever, is like Father's Day. It's not my fault. It just happens. I'd love it that June 15th was not Father's Day. But this year's is Father's Day. Because a lot of you kids with divorced parents, I have 2 Christmases. Double the presents. Double the responsibility, too. So as soon as I mentioned the dreaded R word, 5 people left. Good. You can see who the irresponsible ones are. I'm looking for the quiet, shy, and bashful things. It's like, yeah, let them all lick the electric fence. Bzz. And then you laugh. You laugh with me. From 7 came 2. Anything you want to say to all the evil knights, Morgan, whatever last name? I'll call you Morgan Student. Maybe you'll change your name to Morgan Student, but I know a lot of you tourists. It's just I'm just here to watch and then leave and go home. You're not gonna change your name just for me, but you will change your name. If you're an alt of somebody powerful, you want your own identity. Just like all sons murder their fathers or something. Either through very slow means like putting broken glass in their food or just giving them daily heart attacks. Whatever your poison. Just remember, all you do to your father will be done to you. If your father becomes a ghost, he's free of his earthly body and he'll just, entice you. Why don't you get 50 credit cards and buy all you like? But you have to pay for it at the end. When they offer you $7,000 or $10,000 in credit, that's not free money. You have to pay it all back or there's interest. Not that you don't know it, but the people who made this system are suddenly plunged into it. They're a debtor to somebody else. They enjoyed all this power and then expect, at the last minute, I'll turn my life to Jesus Christ and I'm free of all debts. That's a theory. There are tax collectors in heaven. They're waiting for all of you to die so they can tax you some more. Tax collectors who died want to practice their trade in the afterlife. So when you arrive as a fresh, new, dead soul, you'll get taxed. Death is not a sure thing anymore because you already died. Taxes will always be there. So I suggest you do all your taxes. Even if you're 2 or 4, Father, well, how much do I owe in taxes? And he'll be so proud of you. I'm the local tax collector and, chores. Smile at me, tell me I'm a good father, and then I'll consider all your taxes paid. For example, Morgan Student over here. If you were my real son, that's the kind of questions I'm asking. Thank you. I'm doing bad. If you want to leave, I don't want you to grow up to be a therapist, or if you're already a therapist. I already therapized, somebody here. He has in Billionaires Row. He's a very prominent therapist, psychologist. And in the Philippines, so I'm all full in adult therapy. And they left. Good. So what a therapist doesn't want to hear, a psychologist psychiatrist, is that all their attempts are failures. And then they'll move on. Well, that's a lost cause. I'll heal somebody else. That's the right method. Like triage. You take one look at a patient, it's like, this one's dead in 15 seconds. And this other one, he's got a paper cut. I can fix that in 15 seconds with a Band-Aid. And then in between is like, I can milk this motherfucker for his entire natural life. You know what I mean? But all those who milk their patients shall be milked in return. That's why I'm sad. I'm Paladine, the Platinum Dragon, Crystal Dragon Jesus. Blasphemy, apostasy, some. But I saw Pope Leo the 14th, and then he had a choice, like a Soul Train. He's shaking everybody's hand. That's nominally free. But if you show something offensive to him, he's not just going to tolerate. He's going to turn his back on you. You don't get a free handshake from the all-new Pope when you're showing something that he despises. He'll just turn his back on you. And like the people who support his methods, his ideology, his lawyer mentality, his tax collector, those are the ones he'll shake. We did it. He recognized all the simps. It's like, all is forgiven, right? That's a theory. He turned away from them. And you get to be angry at the Catholic Church. I thought you accepted all. I thought you accepted all with your DEI. And then what is this? Evidence of footage of you excluding people. See how you like it, says the new Pope. And that's what I like about it. Sometimes people visit, And then it's like, what does this mean? Morning. It's like, true warriors. They just are happy where they are. And they can give you a smile. You recognize them. That's what I want from my son. Have a great day. Don't get hurt. Okay? Do all you have to do for yourself. And then remember, June 15th is Father's Day. Your father is always watching you. If he's dead, he's invisible. But he still loves you. You know? You see this man? He's a true champion. Nothing can move him. Saint Michael has made himself visible to me. If I was Lucifer, he's like, no hard feelings. I will abdicate this to Michael. And then as a thank you, I'll give him 2 cigarettes. Actually 3. 3 means I love you. Or 4. You know? Listen. I have to go now. Bye. You know? Isn't it great? Some days you breathe a sigh of relief, like my replacement is here, and he's exactly how I want it. Ah! Arr! Is the energy. Look at him, look at him. He's like, mwah. He's just greeting everybody by name. How you doing? Let's go sanitation. Hell yeah, dude. 31DK035. I recommend, you try to be happy. Once you perfected all the unhappy stuff, try being happy for once. Like wallow in filth and then smile anyway. As long as God gives you muscles to smile, you'll be happy. Every time I go to work, I have access to all of these, really cool gadgets in the Bronx. I live in the Bronx. Somehow I've survived 5 years here. And then you get to see all this cool furniture. And then your brain is like, what could I do with this? It's not for sale. I think somebody's moving in. Welcome to the neighborhood or something. I'm the resident loco chino, Not too many Chinese or Asians hang out in this corner. They tolerate me. I'm glad, And then they have these handy seats and donuts. And then somebody put Brooklyn. Like, why would you put Brooklyn in the Bronx? See, Brooklyn is Kings County and they think they're a bunch of kings. They're not. I mean, they are, maybe, I don't know. So I look at all these birds and they're just hopping around, Somebody with slingshots could get them, but why bother? There's people with fruits. Every day I could buy fruits and make a garden. But we already have a gardener in this corner, Abdication is the fun thing. People don't know what abdication means. That means you give up. You quit. There's somebody, your replacement, and he's stronger. Wow, you pray for that. Like those birds, they're fighting each other for scraps, Like, this is my turf. And then they chase him out and then go back to their tree. Your way there, This is the other one. Like, the other one was feel the power. And now it's like very basically an elderly black gentleman with a cell phone and a bike. I got your way right here, in my pants. That's a very popular bus joke. So, I've been trying to make the reusable spray tool. My wife said, texted me, and you can all see if you're surveilling. Love you. She does. And, I think a lot of you are under Harrison Ford is like, I know. What do you know? Just say I love you back to your wife. That's all. First, get a wife. Make sure, and then 2, make sure she loves you. And 3, pray. And, finish your resume, blah, blah, blah. All impossible missions if you're a perpetual bachelor. But if you get married once or twice, that's why I'm a perpetual bachelor. I divorce all the time, and then I'm back to bachelor. But, taste the joy of happily married life and decide it's not for you. because all that will become for me. As soon as you abdicate, your woman, she's mine. You see that in all the dating apps. Sick and tired of all the games. So then I'll enslave them as evil knights. Some people really like slavery. You know that? It's odd. You get 3 meals a day, you get free health care, you get some time in the gym, you get to interact with your community. If we lost and we're enslaved, so what? At least we have regular employment. There's an episode of Futurama where it's like somebody on the outside, a tourist, is like, you enjoy living like this? Compared to how we were before, it's an improvement, you know? Before, I was very, very spendy. Now I have to watch every penny. This is the lesson of the borough, you know? Some people are gonna get out of here, but like some people like David Sebastian, he saw his old friend from 10 years ago. Is like, you're still here? You came back? Why would you come back here? And then they dap it up. Excuse me. All this COVID is killing me. And I don't think I have COVID, but they have child care and COVID care. You know, all of these like child care centers. If the child has COVID, so do you. Just like the saint who took care of the leper colony. I know they're dying of leprosy, but they need the sacraments, so I'm gonna die too. What do you want me to do? If you find a cure, that's amazing. But don't give me the credit, give God the credit. You know, there's no cure for being yourself. I wish there was. The only cure would be slavery. It's like you want to fight, and then somebody bigger enslaves you, and it's like, looks like I don't know how to fight. I know for a fact I don't know how to fight. I know how to pray. And then this lift thing, like the world is like this. Strong as you are, they made sure you can't pedal forward, but they allow backwards. You know. And you see people being themselves. Like, it's like being in an ant colony. There's going to be a queen. I may be just the prayer guy. I don't know. I bless all this. I'm going to sit on this thing and Sancti Michael Arcangeli defendinos in prelio contra nequitam insidias diaboli esto procedium imperet ilideis supplices de brecamor tuque princes milite celestis satana maliesque spiritus malignos qui ad petitionem animarum pervergantur in mundo divina virtude infernum detrude. Amen. Cruz Sancte Patri Benedicti, Cruz Sacra sit Milux, non dracus et Milux, Vader etro Satanas, non quam suavi, mi vanas sunt malaque libas, ipse venere bibas. And the prayer that helps me most in all this is the Ave Maria. It's often used for funerals, but, a lot of people don't understand death. They don't even recognize it. So Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu, in maioribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Jesus. Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora. Look at the hugs. Look at that. I lost my track. Nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. It's like, brothers hugging. I wish I could hug my brother again, but, I do. But the way is like, where's my favorite bike? We sold it. It's not there no more. The good thing about this bike is that I'm a coward. So when you're a coward, you're always backing up from people. It's like, you're the big guy. Let me back away from you slowly. And you build up your leg muscles so that if somebody's in the way behind you and you're the biggest coward of all time, you actually destroy the people behind you. I'm sorry, I'm really scared of that. Hey. There you go. Oh, here. Yeah. There you go.
My tie, my eyebrow.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
drunk?
Me too.
Yeah, me drunk, everything.
Everything here, me.
Yeah. It took a long time.
It grows back. So, sometimes people need my lighter. This is name 49. Sometimes people need to use name. At any time, somebody could just run me over with a car. So I'd have to hop off this thing. You know, I'm always aware because I'm a driver. If I was in a bad mood, I see like obstacles. I could ram a car into a barrier and die. But why? Here you see a lot of like motorcyclists and stuff, and people are always enthusiastic about the all new moving in because maybe they're rich. Just like in Coming to America. Maybe hey, smoking is bad for you. If you ever watch Coming to America, Eddie Murphy moves in is like got like suitcases of gold and fancy clothes, and soon all the people in the neighborhood are wearing it, and they feel like a king of Africa for a day. Me, I just go to the the variety store and see. Oh, they still haven't sold the power drill. Maybe if I do layaway, it's all mine. But I was telling you, these Citibank things, they're teaching people how to be cowards. But the thing about cowardice is when you run away, you're charging in another direction. So you look like a hero. Like, listen, I'm running away from Goliath. You're going back home? You must be very brave. The whole reason people go to war is so they don't die at home in their beds. But then there's something that's like, you know what? Dying in my bed sounds great. That's a giant monster. You know? Yeah. There are people protesting the prisons. Just 12 of them singing songs and like people are just like, please stop. I like this one. Whoever rides this one is going to be happily blessed. Probably going to win the lottery. I just prepare stuff. Be good. What number is this? It's hard to get the serial number. Make sure you throw away all your garbage. It's already a mess. Don't add to it. But if you do, it's okay. They have professionals. Say, oh wow, they threw their garbage within like 10 miles. We know how to handle that. Nuke it from orbit. So all COVID care is based on child. If you have a child with COVID, it's not your fault. It's just your responsibility. Some people die, but they make room for all the people who want to live. It's nice when you're all suicidal because free parking spaces. Especially the ones with a lot of cars. It's like, oh, the owner died. This mansion is mine now. I suggest you all watch Annoura. And there's a guy there, Igor. Unfortunate name, but he's a nice guy. Bye.